Okei, tervetuloa Tampere Kupliin festivaaleille verkkolähetykseen. Tänään mä olen Timo Kokkila ja mulla on nyt haastateltavana Miguel Francisco, espanjalainen sarjakuvan tekijä, pelien hahmosuunnittelija, ties mitä. Miguel asuu Helsingissä, joten meillä on etäyhteys sinne ja haastattelu tehdään englanniksi. Koettakaa kestää. Siirrymme tästä haastatteluun. Mä kerron vielä englanniksi saman. Okay, welcome to Tampere Kupliin Comics Festival. This is Timo Kokkila. I am interviewing Miguel Francisco from Spain. Welcome, Miguel.
Hey, how's it going?
When we got every technical problem solved, this should be all okay. Hope so. But welcome to Tampere Kupliin Festival. You have been doing comics in Spain and in Finland and all the other stuff, but maybe you are not very well known in Finland or known at all because none of your comics have been published in Finnish.
No, I tried with because I was making comic books in the 80s till the 90s in Spain and Germany, but I quit. And now I started again making comics, and I tried to publish the last one here in Finland, but
yeah, it's not easy. But your work is known in Finland at least because you have worked for Rovio and done character designs for Angry Birds and I guess other games too.
Yeah, I was working at Rovio for 4 years, I think, and I was designing not all the characters because the first characters were made by Jaakko Isalo, but I was designing all the characters for the animation and the games and everything.
Yeah, but okay, we could go back to Spain. You were born in Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
And you started doing comics in middle 80s, if I understand correctly. How did you end up doing those?
Because I was crazy about comics and I was making comics since I was so little. And there was a very big company in Spain since the 40s till the 90s, 80s, 90s. And they had one, I showed some works and they started publishing all the comics, and it was quite easy then because they had weekly magazines. So it was very, very easy to start publishing there. And
I think
quite different than now.
Yes, media world was quite different in Finland too in the 80s than it is now. But I understand they were kind of underground magazines, or what kind of comics did you do at first?
I was 16 and in the mornings I was working for children comics, and in the evenings I made porn comics.
Okay.
So it was quite very different.
Yeah.
And after a while I was working for some underground magazines.
Yeah.
Like Caña, more political and satirical magazines.
What kind of influences did you have? Were there a lot of comics published in Spain in those days?
Oh yeah. There was a huge boom of comics in the 80s with a really, really good artists. But I was so crazy about the French artists, like the classics, Franquin and Gottlieb and all these.
Okay, good that I took my marsupilami with me. Oh, he's falling down. Yes.
Attacking you.
Yeah, hope not. But yes, was it was it a profession for you in the 80s already?
Yeah, I was working full time because this big company had so many different magazines, comic magazines, and I was able to make a living making comics. It was maybe even too much because I remember from my 16 to 19 or 20 years old, I made around 40 pages every month.
Okay, that's a lot.
It was a lot. They paid so little, but it was quite okay.
I think I know some Spanish comics artists, but there has been quite well-known artists. Okay, greetings from your son, I guess. Yeah, but there has been quite many well-known Spanish comics artists, but I was looking at Wikipedia and they listed 117 Spanish comics artists. That's not all, I guess. there are much more.
There are so many, and really good ones.
Yeah. And, yes, but it was part of kind of Franco-Belgian comic boom or something, because in Finland, 70s and 80s, there were, of course, these Asterix, Tintin, Lucky Luke, and everything like that.
No, in the 80s, the comic book boom became because there were so many comic book artists who were working for Warren in the States.
Okay, yeah.
And then when they had enough experience and they were 30, 40 years old, then they made a new publishing house, and well, they made 3 or 4 different publishing houses, and they began publishing Moebius, some French comics, but they were making really, really good Spanish comics too.
Yeah, I think there are even, I was thinking who Spanish artists has been published in Finnish. There are some. Paco Roca is one of the latest. Guess of course Black Sad and Max. I have met Max once. He was in Helsinki Comics Festival a few years back. And some others, I don't know who you can count. Sergio Aragones from Mad was born in Spain, I guess. He was listed.
Yeah, he grew up in the States, I think.
Yeah, and of course there's Ibanez. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. Francisco Ibanez with Mortadelo y Filemon, which was published in Finnish in
really?
80s and 90s. And
he's almost 90 years old, I think, and he's still working.
Okay, yeah, but that was, and of course some Disney artists have been published because I think there are several in Spain.
Yeah, I'm very good friend of Rodriguez, who is publishing a lot here in Finland.
Yeah. But then let's go back to you. We can go back to these names later if you want. But you said that you got kind of bored in comics in 90s.
Yeah, because as I told you before, they were not very well paid. So I needed to make so many pages to make a living. And then I couldn't, I was very young. I was 16, 19, 20. So I didn't have time to learn because I was all the time drawing. And at some point I got very tired and bored, I think, because I was doing the same all the time.
Yeah.
And then I was scared because so many magazines were closing. comic books were like going down a bit, and then I quit. I was working for animation and advertising for so many years.
I think that has happened for many people. They burn themselves out and try to find something else. And
I was very lucky because so many of my friends, they didn't react, and then at some point, very quickly, all the magazines were closed, and people were unemployed by hundreds.
Yeah, I think it was a bit similar situation in Finland in early 90s. The newspapers and magazines were in trouble, and everything went to the bad direction. But you found work in animation.
Yeah, first I was working for advertising.
I
made so many commercials of Nesquik, this Quickie rabbit.
Okay.
And from there I jumped to animation. I was working for a few companies there in Spain and Denmark. So.
Okay, but did you have any education in art or something? You just started doing those.
I went to swim directly.
Yeah, but you were very skilled already because you had been working so hard in comics.
Yeah, but I think it's better if you have one education and some really good art education.
Yeah.
I regret that.
Yeah. But what kind of work did you do for animation? Was it storyboarding or animating or everything?
Yeah, first I was making storyboards for a couple of companies, and I went to live in Copenhagen, and I was making storyboards there for one company, a film. And then I went back to Spain again to work in one big animation studio. But then I was making character design, all these technical model sheets.
Yeah, those are needed in animation. So it was maybe you had. It was easier to move to games after that because you had done it for animation. There are similarities, I guess.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. But were those animations were what kind of? There were films, advertising, everything.
In the first company there in Barcelona, I was working mainly for TV series. I think one of them you have it here, the triplets. It's for little kids. There are 3 triplets.
Okay. I can't
anyway.
Okay, have to look it up.
And some advertising too.
Yeah. That lasted for some years, but was it much after that when games industry started to need people?
Because it happened with animation almost the same that happened with comic books. There was a big crisis at the end of the 90s, I think, or 2000, something like that. And so many animation companies closed. So I had one offer in Holland to work in video games, and I went there to work for one title that is still in the drawer. They didn't make anything.
Yeah, well, that happens. Yes, but were you very familiar? Are you a gamer yourself? Okay. But they need.
I was gamer, but at some point I had the feeling that I was wasting my time all the time there.
Okay. Yeah. But was it before your best known comic book is graphic novel De Espaces Vides, if I pronounce it about right.
In French, yeah, it's empty.
In French, yeah. Okay, 2017 in French and Espacios en Blanco in Spanish. 2017, Empty Spaces or something in English. Okay, they get the picture. Okay, good. We have some pictures of your comics, so we try to include them here. Okay, this is the book. This was some kind of different effort for you. This is about your family or something. Can you tell a little about it?
Yeah, it's quite complicated to. It's one idea I had since long ago, because I wanted to explain all the stories my dad was telling me about Civil War in Spain, Spanish Civil War.
That was in 1930s.
Yeah, 36, 39. And all the stories about my granddad. And then when I was putting on paper all the stories, I noticed that there were empty spaces, and there were so many silences there. Like people didn't want to talk, no? And the family were silent about some points in history.
Okay.
So they were talking about some things, but some others were in silence.
Yeah.
And then I was investigating a bit and putting everything in paper and making graphics and trying to know what really happened with my family during Civil War. And the story is completely different than the official story of my family, because of course they needed to be silent during all the dictator period. No?
Yeah.
Because my granddad was anarchist in Civil War. He was making the revolution there. He was in war, and so many things happened there. But he was silent during 40 years. He didn't say anything. Everything was completely like a graveyard. No?
Yeah. Okay, that's the blank spaces in your family history. Yes. Can we get the next page? Okay, here are some sample pages. Okay, this isn't actually very good sample, but anyway, this is not from this.
You can say Civil War.
Yeah. No, is this at all from that book?
Yeah, it's the beginning.
Yeah, okay, I thought that it should be from that. Yes, but it tells about different time periods. You are
because
investigating the history.
Yeah, I'm mixing my daily life with flashbacks of my family, and I'm trying to go back and forth.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make something very, very dramatic.
Yeah.
So I thought it was maybe a good idea to put my silly life there.
Yeah, but as the viewers can see, your art it's great. I was surprised to see how great you are in this. This is kind of, I don't know where should I compare it to, but maybe some French artists or something, but it's your own. But you are very good in this, I guess. I was very impressed to see this. But okay, we can go to next page. Here you are flying. This is you in the sky. What's happening here?
Helsinki.
Okay, this is already. You are going to Helsinki already.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if these samples are in right order at all.
Yeah, I think this is the one that was in the book. I think it's the final art. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the flashbacks I'm having all the time, or I had all the time, because at some point, all these stories were like big thing in my life. I was all the time thinking, because every time I was investigating or trying to ask different people in my family to try to know what happened, every time was more and more complicated, and people were telling me so many different stories, and that made me think a lot about what happens now in Spain in the present or in the last 20 years. Is like a mirror of what happened during Civil War, and it's an effect of the dictatorship times.
Yeah. What?
Or something like that.
Yeah, I myself is always interested in technique. How have you done this? Is this completely drawn in computer? Or?
Yeah, everything is computer.
Yeah. When you moved to that, have you been doing computer art for a long time?
Yeah. But completely, when I moved here to Finland, I was still working with paper and making color with Photoshop. But since 10 years ago, I'm working almost everything with computer.
But
with
of course, it's still drawn by hand.
Yeah.
So people often think that the computer does the drawing, but it's not that way.
Yeah. You have one button there. I want one nice page of comic.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, vaihdetaan sivua vaikka. Okay, we'll change the page. Okay, here's a bit more history now. This is Spanish history from different age.
In these pages and during all the book, I'm mixing my son asking some stuff to me, but at the same time, I'm like in this page, I'm writing down all the conversations I had with my dad when I was a kid, and all the things that my dad was explaining about my granddad living in Argentina. Because for example, this is my granddad in Argentina. The official story is that my granddad went to Argentina to work, and he had a nice time in Argentina. But he was living there for 7 years or 8 years. But when I was taking papers and checking everything, the real truth is that my granddad was very involved in the anarchist union worker in Spain before Civil War, and he escaped from Spain because he was in danger, because we had one more dictator before Franco. He escaped, and I don't know exactly what he was doing there in South America, but after I finished the book, I found some postcards from my granddad and some relatives who were living in South America too. And they had some really weird communications by postcard, like it didn't make any sense. It sounded more like some hidden message between them.
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't know for sure if it was that or not. So I don't know. I'm sure he was somehow involved in some political issues in South America, but I couldn't
Yeah, I understood about this that there are some, you were imagining things what he could have done there. Was he a gangster or something, or from American films, some influences?
Yeah, because when I was a kid and my dad was explaining everything, for me it was like an adventure, you know, like a big thing, and my imagination got completely crazy.
Yeah. Let's see what the next page is. I can't remember. Okay, here is sample of the film stuff that you were imagining, I guess.
Yeah, because I remember that my granddad, he was always silent about his time in Argentina. And he only said that he was friend with Carlos Gardel, the tango singer, that he was very famous.
Okay.
And then I was all the time thinking that maybe my granddad was a tango singer.
Okay, yes. Okay, this is some kind of cowboy in Argentina. Yeah, but nice black and white pages also.
Wow, there are a lot of people here.
Yeah. How do you feel about your art? Are you slow? These pictures look like it takes a lot of time to draw these, but are you fast, or how do you feel yourself?
I can be very fast, but sometimes because I didn't make any comic books since so many years ago. Then it's like my comic book muscle doesn't work, no?
Okay.
And then I try to, like here, for example, there are too many people, and it's very slow. Now I'm making a new comic, and it's different. Now I'm trying to be more professional. I don't need to draw 100 people in one panel.
Yeah. Well, yes, these really feel like it has taken a lot of time to draw all these characters, and you are very, very good with the characters, of course, because you are character designer also. So that's not a surprise.
Yeah, super funny to draw people.
Let's see.
I'm very bored always drawing backgrounds.
Yeah.
But with people are super happy.
Okay. Let's see the next page. Here is a kind of grim sequence, I guess. But colors are back. But I don't think that the backgrounds are any less impressive than the characters. But
I was very, very lucky with this book because the French publisher was very open and they helped a lot.
Yeah.
They were helping and trying to be on my side and understanding all the delays.
I'm not surprised that this style made an impression in France also. There is something very French also in these drawings. But this is in English. Have you tried to get it published elsewhere?
I had a few pages in English because I was trying to have it published here. It didn't succeed.
Well, yes. Well, yes. English is better in Finland than French or Spanish. Yeah.
No, but I made a very fast translation in English to show to the publisher.
Yeah, I understand. Yes. But this was kind of success, I guess. It was selling all right, or
Yeah, I was selling quite okay in France and more in Spain. In Spain was, well, I didn't have any award, but people liked it a lot.
Yeah, did this lead you? I saw some photos about on your homepage about you being in San Diego Comic Con and stuff. Was it connected to the comics or games?
No, it was it was for games.
Okay,
I went there with Seriously.
Okay,
when we were making best films.
Yeah, but you have been in Spanish comics festivals, of course, and in France, I guess.
Yeah, in Angoulême.
Yeah, that's a great place. I have only been there once.
Yeah, I was there I've been there only once.
Okay.
Only once. And I called my editor there in France and I said, hey, I go there to Angoulême. And he was, oh mon Dieu.
Okay.
Then if you are coming, you can be here signing. And I was there signing, so scared.
Okay. Yeah. But after that, this album, katsotaan muuten seuraava kuva taas. Then there's this. The album ends when you are coming to Finland. Can you tell a little about that? How did you end up here?
Well, I had one Finnish girlfriend, and then I was looking for some job. I applied for one company, for a few companies, and I had offers from London, Berlin, Helsinki, and I don't know what more. And of course, I had some kind of relationship with one lady here, so I took Helsinki.
Okay, I guess I have heard that story before.
But then we broke up before I came here.
Yeah. Okay.
1 week before I moved.
Okay, but you got work here, so it was Rovio at first, or were you somewhere else?
It was Rovio, but before Angry Birds, when it was still a really tiny company.
Yeah. Vaihdetaan sitten seuraava kuva vielä. Here's the next picture from Helsinki. This is quite nice. You are looking at the sights in Helsinki.
And for me it was great to come here because I broke with my past. I had some time to think. And then is when I had time to think about making a book and getting deep into this story. Because when you are living in your country, it's like you are moving all the time. No? You have family, you have friends, you have work.
Yeah, it's a big step, yes. But yes, you have enjoyed your stay here. It's been a few years already. Or I hope you have enjoyed yourself here.
Well,
yeah, but let's go to the next picture again. Here's something else. This was a comic sample, but it's not from the album, I guess.
No, this is for the new book that I'm finishing the last pages.
Okay. You are coming. You will have a new album in near future, I guess.
Yeah, very soon.
But it's
in June or July.
Yeah, but this is not your own story anymore. This is something else.
No. It's a French writer.
Okay, you had a writer here. Yes, okay.
It's quite different to work with one writer. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay, there's Spiro magazine on the sofa. Yeah. Next, let's go to the next. Okay, I was looking for these character designs from the games. I don't know what this is from, but these are some of your character designs for a game company, I guess.
Yeah, that was...
It's from your homepage, so
yeah.
it should be.
Is it, yeah, these are some characters they asked me for in Rovio.
Okay.
For like some new ideas or...
Yeah.
But I don't remember if they were for game or animation.
Yeah, they have been doing a lot of stuff, of course, and tried many different things. I think the next picture is from a little more better known brand. This is two brands, Angry Birds, Star Wars. You were working on that.
Yeah, but only making the designs.
Yeah.
The final art for the games and the marketing art is from different artists.
Yeah. How do you like doing this kind of stuff? It looks very funny.
Yeah. It was funny. At some point, I got bored because 4 years making the same is difficult.
Yeah.
But it was so funny.
Yeah.
And I think some of them are quite...
Yeah, they look good.
Cute.
I don't know if these, of course, they weren't used straight from these drawings, but this was kind of inspirational stuff that was made before the game was.
I think, well, these were the first designs that were sent to George Lucas, I think, to have some approval or...
Okay.
And then after the approval, people there in the game department made all the final art.
Yeah.
And probably they changed so many things. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. I guess that's what game and film industry is. There are tons of stuff that's been done, and only a little portion of that ends up in the final product.
Yeah.
I guess the next one was about the game also. This was for Angry Birds. More.
Yeah, this was Stella that first she was in Angry Birds. And then at the end, she had one personal brand, Stella and Friends.
Yeah.
With some animation.
Yeah. But this looks very good. And you have been also doing, I guess, have you been doing storyboards or anything anymore, or was that on the past?
Yeah, I've been making storyboards sometimes, not... I mean, while I've been living here in Finland, I made the storyboards for Denmark.
Okay.
For some very commercial TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Even I made the storyboards for... What's the name? Mikko, what's the name? This little kid with hair that looks very sad. And he's living with his dad. I think his mom is dead. She died. Or...
Is that Mikko Mallikas, Swedish?
Yeah,
brand.
Mikko Mallikas.
Yeah. Yeah. Swedish children's book from 70s, I guess, original.
Yeah, they are making new animation.
Okay.
In Denmark.
Yeah. But interesting projects, yeah. There are a couple of Finnish comics artists also who has been doing storyboards for Finnish films and stuff. I think that's a bit like doing comics, but of course there are different approaches also.
You know what happened with me with comics? I got bored at the end of the 80s, 90s. But then, after working for so many years in animation and video games and advertising, that it's a very long process. That there are so many people working there, and at the end, your work is a mix of many things. But comic books is yours. You start and you finish. No?
Yeah, it's your own thing. Yes. Yeah, that's true. But you have now doing a new book, and you are coming back to comics after a little gap. So, but the publishers have been already interested, and everything is all right in that sense, because publishers have also been in trouble in last years, at least in Finland.
Yeah, but I had one email from the French publisher, and he told me that it was quite okay there in France.
Yeah.
So they were still selling. And
but will it be published in Spain also? Do you have any idea about that?
I don't know. This one is very French. So
okay.
It's a very personal.
Yeah, and a French writer, of course, have its own effect in that. Yeah. But so you have been very busy doing stuff. How long days do you work? How many hours a day do you work? Is it exhausting?
All.
Okay. But you also have a family in Helsinki, so you can't work all the time.
Yeah, I have my son, but he's 1 week with me and 1 week with his mom.
Okay.
So I'm trying to work a lot when he's with his mom.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to enjoy my son.
Yeah, that's good. But yes, sounds like you could. You have a lot of hours to use in this to do drawings, but that's of course that's good to have work, but too much is too much also. Yeah, but I guess game industry and animation are work that you get paid well, or at least better than doing comics most of the time. That's a good thing.
With comics is in France they are quite okay paid. In Spain or here in Finland, the prices, well, not the price, the sales are not much, so the publishers can pay much for the books.
Yeah, that's a problem. Have you followed any Finnish comics, or can you read Finnish?
Oh, but very slow. I get reading comics with the dictionary and the Google translator.
Yeah, I'm sure. I guess the Fingerpori is the best known Finnish comics for a few years now. So that's full of yeah, and J.P. Ahonen. Yeah, he's great. Oh, there are some similarities. He works also with Wacom Cintiq and does everything with the computer. There are some similarities, I guess.
He's a really good artist.
Yeah. There are many artists, but as you said, Finland is a small country. We have very low population and the sales are not good.
I'm completely in love with tattoo and patu. I discovered
yeah, that's
with
also
my son. Really good.
That's a good introduction to Finnish humor also. Yeah, that's great. I guess it's been published in Spain. I would presume. I'm not sure, but Tatu and Patu has been published all around the world, I guess. And also Mauri Kunnas is another children's book artist.
Mhm.
But how about the Spanish comic scene? Have you still contacts to Spain?
Yeah. Normally not now because the coronavirus, but I usually go to the festivals and I still have a bunch of friends there.
Yeah.
And with the book, I reconnected again with so many people because I had so many talk-ins in bookstores and signings. There is a really, really bunch of good comic book artists now, but the sales are so little, so people are getting bored sometimes, and they stop making comics. So.
In Finland, the younger generation is, of course, going to internet and Kickstarter and Patreon and everything. I guess that's what's happening in Spain also.
Yeah. And so many people, they are publishing themselves, everything.
Yeah.
Because, of course, if you are having only 500 euros from the publisher,
well,
it makes no difference.
Yeah, you can't live with that for a long time. Yeah, and it takes a year to make a comic book.
Yeah.
Okay, we have about 6 minutes left of our time. Maybe we should. We still had some pictures. Maybe we should look what we had left. This is you in different situations.
Super happy boy.
Yeah. But you are very good at doing the characters and how they feel. That's a nice thing. You sense the feeling from the art. Okay, let's take the next one. Okay, this is something new. What is this from?
I'm going to try to publish one art book.
Okay.
One sketchbook.
Okay,
I hope before the end of the year, after summer maybe.
Okay, these are sketches.
Yeah. All of them are sketches.
Yeah. Okay. Have you done this in a bus or train or something? You don't have your computer there?
No. Normally I made a very quick sketch and then I finish.
Yeah. What's the next one?
Because it's a bit creepy to be there.
Yeah. These are some studies, sketches. Very nice looking also.
Yeah, some of them were for the book.
Yeah. Okay, let's see the next one. I think there's still one or two. Okay, there's some more. This is from Spain, I guess. Doesn't look like a Finnish beach. But yes. Okay. I guess this was the last one. This is from the sketchbook, I guess. Great characters. But how do you see your future in comics or games or somewhere?
I want to continue with comics if I can, and maybe I will try to make some animation project or game project. But I've been working so hard for so many years, and I want to slow down a bit.
Yeah, but
and try to make something more personal. And I enjoyed making the book and having my name there.
Yeah, well, that's a great feeling, yes. But I think it would be nice to get your stuff published in Finnish, but as you said, publishers are very, very selective these days, so I can understand it's not easy.
There was one publisher that they wanted to publish it, but at the end, no.
Well, yeah, that happens.
I think it's very expensive, and they need to make a good translation too, because I can't write it in Finnish. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And then it's even more expensive. So.
And also it has quite a lot of pages. I can't remember how many pages does it have, but
Yeah, the empty spaces is 120.
yeah, okay. It's
And this one I'm doing now, 144.
Okay. Yeah, and color publishing is always a bit more expensive than black and white stuff. Yes, these are the facts that you have to face doing comics. But I guess you are so talented in drawing, so I'm sure you won't be short of work if you just...
Let's hope. I don't know.
Yeah, but hope... Would you have anything wise to say for the end? We should be stopping now.
Wise? No. No, only to say thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Miguel. Hope we will see next year when we have a real festival, but we will see about that. Thank you very much, Miguel. Or Miguel.
Thanks.